Welcome to the daily reflection for the online Lent calendar for Chorley and Leyland Methodists for Saturday, March the 27th. Our Bible verse today is Matthew chapter 16, verse 24. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "If anyone would come after me, he must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me." Over this past week, we've been exploring the theme of self-giving love. God's giving of himself in sending Jesus to live among us. The qualities of self-sacrificial love as found in Corinthians. And our response to God's love for us through our own self-giving love for other people. And today, continuing this theme, we hear words from Jesus telling us what steps we must take in order to follow his way of love. Now, I'll be honest with you, I've always had trouble with this verse, and particularly the beginning of it. Jesus says that step one is to deny ourselves. What's that all about? Well, looking up the word deny in the dictionary, we discover that it means to refuse to acknowledge or to disown. So, if God loves, values and accepts me, why should I deny myself? Perhaps the problem is with the use and interpretation of the word deny. In his translation, J.B. Phillips puts it this way: if anyone wants to follow in my footsteps, he must give up all right to himself. Or to phrase it in more modern terms, as the Message does, we need to put God in the driving seat of our lives. And this is just what Jesus did. Yes, throughout his life, but very particularly in the Garden of Gethsemane at the end of an agonizing prayer, when he said, "Yet not my will, but yours." Step one, sacrificing our will to the God who loves us. And as we do this, we put our trust completely in God, so that we carry our cross not in our own strength, but in God's. So, what is our cross? Well, first of all, it's not something that's thrust upon us, but something we choose to carry. Just as in Gethsemane, Jesus came to that point of choice, driven by his love for God and a love for us that knew no limits. And the cross which he carried wasn't a beautifully crafted cross, such as we see today in our churches and homes, but a roughly made cross, which spoke of stigma and disgrace. Love is often symbolised by perfectly shaped red hearts and beautiful flowers. But the reality is that love is often messy and involves us getting our hands dirty. It doesn't always come easily. It can be an effort. We may even be scorned for reaching out to certain people or groups. But following in Jesus' footsteps, we choose to love others with the same self-giving love that he has shown us. So we take up our cross and we follow him. Will you put God in the driving seat of your life today? Will you choose to take up your cross of sacrificial love and follow Jesus today and every day? Let me finish by reading verses 2 and 3 of John Bell and Graham Moll's hymn, "Will You Come and Follow Me?" Will you leave yourself behind if I but call your name? Will you care for cruel and kind and never be the same? Will you risk the hostile stare should your life attract or scare? Will you let me answer prayer in you and you in me? Will you let the blinded see if I but call your name? Will you set the prisoner free and never be the same? Will you kiss the leper clean and do such as this unseen, and admit to what I mean in you and you in me? May God bless you today.